This is the Peter Greenwood Show, and I have a guest. Could you tell me your name and what you do, please?
Naomi Grossman. I'm an actress.
Oh, I know. Naomi, are you well?
I am well.
So, let's talk about your show. It is called American Horror Story, which is a hell of a title. Where did that title come from, and what's its connection to maybe a similar sounding production?
Yes, well, if people know me, it's probably from American Horror Story. I played Pepper in season 2 and 4, and then some other characters in later seasons. So obviously I have a connection to the show. But this show, American Horror Story, is sort of my love letter to AHS fans. They made me, so I made this for them. And it's more than just a convenient, catchy title. It's about that. I'm an American whore, and this is my story. But this whore is not a promiscuous whore, not to say I haven't been, but that's another show. This is a hustler whore, a woman who does what she's got to do to get what she wants. We all do it. We all whore out. We all make compromises, these are my compromises that I made along the way to get where I am today.
What kind of, without spoiling the show, of course, what kind of things did you have to do? What can you tell us?
I mean, it does spoil the show, but no, I mean, the show can't be spoiled. It's a ride, but I danced for money at bar mitzvahs. I posed nude in art classes. I drove the Red Bull car until I crashed it into a shopping mall. Forgot about the giant can on the top. I've done a bazillion odd jobs and fallen in love with a bazillion wrong guys, and that's what the show's all about.
So when it came time to put the show on, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, you talk a little bit about American Horror Story. Did you ever have to speak to Brad about the creator of American Horror Story, about what you could and couldn't say?
Ryan Murphy gave me his express permission to use the title and to do what I'm doing. He got the first invite when I first premiered it in Los Angeles.
And what did he make of the show?
Well, he hasn't seen it yet, but he did write me back and said, absolutely, we're big fans, and you have our absolute blessing.
This isn't your first time in Edinburgh. It's your second time, I believe?
Second time at the festival. I did come 1 July, just because I love it here, and it was not the same.
What's it like being on the other side, from a performer to being a visitor?
I mean, like I said, it's like a completely different city when the festival isn't happening. It's like Salt Lake City when it's not Sundance. It's like a whole nother place.
So, talking a little bit about the show, are there things that you wanted to put in that you had to leave out, or things that you thought might be too personal for this show, and will they pop up at somewhere else?
There's nothing too personal. The show is incredibly personal. People always stay afterwards to talk with me because they're like, that was a lot. Wow. It's almost like they feel like they need to share with me. They want to tell me their stories after, which I think is a wonderful testament. But no, there's nothing too personal. But yes, there's tons of compromises I made along the way that didn't make the show. There's a whole character that I had to cut who I'm just waiting for Seth Meyers to invite me onto his show. He and I went to college together, so it's not that far of a shot. But I'm saving some DVD extras for, and believe me, I've got plenty.
This is the point where we drop some names, because you were in the Groundlings among people who have gone there. Some fella called Conan O'Brien, Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, just those people. As a comedy nerd, what was it like being in the Groundlings, in that space?
That's a whole nother show, which will unfortunately never be produced. It's if they wanted to make the Big Brother to beat all Big Brothers, that would be the show. It was amazing. It was a real, comedy think tank, and it was a pressure cooker because, you needed everyone to be hilarious, right? Because we all kind of build each other up, but you also couldn't let them be too funny to upstage you. So it was kind of the best of times, worst of times in so many ways. Like so amazing, being so inspired by so many brilliant people all at once, and yet it was a lot of pressure.
I can imagine it is a lot of pressure and a lot of work because people know the name of the Groundlings, so any audience interaction is going to be like, well, this is where 1,000 people have come from, so make me laugh.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a very special place, and I feel really honored to have been a part of it, and yeah. Sorry, I don't have anything to...
It's okay. I'd like to ask a little bit about something else I found out about you. You were in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes, barely. I was a cheerleader who I think had like a line. So yes, it made it onto my IMDb. It's another one of those ding dong things I did that didn't make this show, but there's plenty of little bits that people will be like, oh yeah, I saw that, that you'll see throughout the course of this show.
And then we come to Pepper.
Yes.
How did you get the audition? What was that process like? And tell us about finding Pepper.
You have to see the show. It's all in the show. Literally, you'll see me get the phone call from my agent. You'll see me go through the whole process. Like, do I shave my head? I didn't even know what this was. I thought it might as well just be another, glorified extra role. But clearly it was not. It changed my life. And, here we are talking about it.
And if Pepper could come and see your show, what do you think she would say about it? What would her reaction be?
Well, let's face it. She's monosyllabic, so she probably would grunt and clap. And it's really... If people are expecting Pepper, they're going to find the antithesis. I'm very verbal. If Pepper is monosyllabic, I'm all the syllables. So it's a shock.
And she's kind of followed you around the world. I mean, there's Pepper t-shirts, tattoos. How does that feel seeing that?
Again, that's in the show as well, but it's incredibly flattering. It's beautiful to know that I could, touch so many people. That's what we're here for, right? That's what this whole city over the course of this month is about taking each other on our journeys and affecting audiences. I think, for so long I thought, being an actor felt like kind of this self-serving endeavor where, me, I just want to in the spotlight, put me on the, on the sides of buses. And now I realize, no, I'm actually doing a service. This isn't about me at all. I'm reminded by that every day I walk into my little Pepper room. I feel like, she bought that condo. I might as well give her her own room. And sure enough, I'm like, there's floor to ceiling fan art, and it's moving to think that my art would inspire others' art.
That is a very touching thing when somebody's like, hey, I drew this, I did this, I put that together. It's like, that is incredible. Like, art inspires art.
Right. Again, it's the idea that I get these sometimes letters from people about how they're struggling, but it was Pepper, it was the show that kept them going on, and I just thought, wow, it's amazing. It's quite the responsibility for entertainers.
I want to ask a little bit about the future of the show. Where are you taking it after the Fringe?
Well, from here we'll take it back to Los Angeles and shoot it as a comedy special, and hopefully you'll see it on a streamer.
It'll be up on maybe Netflix or Max. Is it HBO Max or is it just Max now?
I don't know what. There's so many at this point, and it's impossible to say who. It's we'll let them bid it out.
Where can people find out about you online?
I am at Naomi W. Grossman across all socials. And of course, my website is just naomigrossman.net. And then, of course, the show's website is AmericanHorrorStory.com.
And that is WHORE.
Correct. In English, or I'm sorry, in American English, it sounds like they sound the same. Horror. It's Whereas here, I find it's, how do you say horror? Horror versus horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very So.
So it's a potato kind of thing.
It still works. It's still better than American Hustler Story. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also a film called American Hustler at some point?
I think there was, but I'm not in that. So.
No, so we won't talk about it.
No.
Naomi, thank you for your time today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Naomi Grossman, American Horror Story, is playing every day until the 26th of August at Curry at the Gilded Balloon Patter House at 9 o'clock in the evening. For tickets, go to edfringe.com. This episode was produced by your friend and mine at VCTariaA on Twitter. Go say hello to her and tell her she's doing a good job keeping this show going. It was hosted by me, Peter Greenwood. Until next time, bye every single body bye.